Okay, yeah, hi friends, Doc South here, and just woke up from a nice nap. I was daydreaming, for almost 20 minutes, in and out of sleep, resting up for work today, this afternoon into the early evening at a local supermarket. Um, I was having the best dream about my days of being a boilermaker when I used to work on, well, in some cases, boilers that were as big as a house. And in the daydream, now I wasn't there for this particular uh, process, but I was told about it by my boss Charlie, who owned the company I worked for when I was a boilermaker. And we would travel Pennsylvania, pretty much Pennsylvania, fixing boilers that were on the fritz. And I'm talking boilers in some cases that were the size of a house. Not a huge McMansion kind of thing, but well, some of them were, but for the most part, maybe a boiler the size of a garage, or maybe had a foundation the size of say a two-car garage. That kind of thing might be 20, 30 feet high, and higher in some cases, depending. And that's we fixed them. It was kind of fun. A little too much asbestos. But luckily, I always wore a mask and kind of kept the stuff brushed off me. But a lot of guys didn't. They'd be in there covered in asbestos, smoking. I can't imagine they're still alive. Dangerous stuff, asbestos. Cigarettes, too. But put the two together, eesh. But in any case, yeah, I was just daydreaming about this extremely wild process my boss Charlie told me about. I didn't help him with this, but I listened in with rapt attention uh, as he explained how you take a pipe full of where superheated steam is running inside it, and where and then that pipe springs a leak, how you fix it. And it's an insane process that honestly I don't know if I wouldn't want to explain what all you have to do, because I might leave something out, and someone trying to do that repair, could lose an arm. It's superheated steam, extremely powerful stuff, and can a simple little leak, a little pinhole leak in superheated steam, you'll hear it, you'll see nothing coming out of the pipe, and maybe 10, well, 3 feet away, you'll see a cloud form of steam. But in between, that steam's still going. You're just not seeing it because it's so hot and dry. It's hundreds of degrees, and it's usually under a lot of pressure, and it'll cut your finger off as soon as look at you. It's dangerous stuff, and you definitely want to know the right procedures. And in some cases, I guess you can't shut the boiler off to fix it. You've got to do it while the leak is in progress, and excruciatingly dangerous. Shut the boiler off, let everything cool down. It's probably a much smarter idea, but I guess in some cases you can't do that. The process has to keep going 24/7, or else, that kind of thing. And Charlie was capable of doing that kind of work. He was he was the Beethoven of boilers. Yeah, knew his stuff. And he was our boss. Boy, he was something else. Little tiny guy, but boy, don't get him sore. May he come at you with a doggone wrench in his hand. No, he never hit anyone, but he was he was a tough old cuss for a little guy. And I wasn't much bigger than he was back in the day. In fact, I might even be smaller than Charlie now. But he was a good guy. He always had a tale to tell, always a good, and I think for the most part, not too tall a tale. But that one about the fixing the superheated steam line while it was still running was was kind of my favorite. Man, he was something else. Good guy. Imagine long since gone by now. Gosh, when I worked for him, he was 50 or so, and that was 50 years ago. And he come out of a boiler all covered in soot and asbestos, and I'm sure that had to shorten his life a bit. And I seem to remember he was pretty much a chain smoker too. But nice guy, just the same. And but yeah, no, yeah, it was kind of fun doing that work. Of course, I never had to handle a superheated steam line, but boy, we sure did some wild chores moving those pipes around the boiler rooms. There was days, boy, you wondered if you're going to get home. It was and on the way home, the beer was always always tasty. That's for sure. And you wondered if you were ever going to get home. Yes, I always did. But oh my gosh, I don't know what's got me thinking about that, but that particular job. But it was fun traveling the Keystone State, good old Pennsylvania, going from boiler room to boiler room, fixing this, tending to that. It was kind of fun. Beautiful sightseeing along most of the roads too. Anyway, it's one of my favorite jobs. Boy, didn't pay worth a darn, but you'd think, gosh, it's going to pay a fortune. Nah, it didn't really. But it's all right. We had good times, lots of stories to tell. I'll have to think of some more stuff we used to do inside those darn boilers. Yeah, we'll have to come up with a few. Something will hit me. But yeah, that steam line, Charlie evidently was able to fix again this wildly messed up superheated steam line and had it running in an hour or two. So you got to hand it to him. Anyway, I'll see you later. Good old Charlie. To him, he always had a coffee cup about this size too. I might mention coffee, cigarettes, and boilers. That was and his family. Loved his family. Okay, I'll see you later, friends. Thank you now, and God bless.